Alright, here we go. Here we go, guys. Part 2, JCTheSniper's review of the OD1 and OD2 by Kershaw. Pretty sweet little EDC blades. So anyhow, lockup is really good, particularly on the OD1 because it's a frame lock. Very, very strong lockup. No wiggle on either one of them, but a stronger lock on the OD1 than the OD2, because the OD1's got that frame lock, and it's a well-designed frame lock. I mean, it locks in solidly, but it's not too hard to pop back off, so I like it. It's good. No complaints on the frame locking design. Handle, excuse me, yawning. Handle material on the OD1, as I said, is on this side is G10, and it's a finely textured G10. It's pretty decently grippy for an EDC knife. And on the other side, it's 410 stainless, which is not grippy, but it's an EDC blade, and that's not a big problem. With the OD2, the handle material is Zytel. So this is a Zytel handled steel lined knife. So that's part of why this is a little bit cheaper. I actually picked this up for $8. I got it at Smoky Mountain Knife Works for $8. So, you know, it was on sale, but hard to beat an $8 knife like that. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have bought it, but $8, couldn't pass it up. So, handle materials are a little bit different. The G10 on this one is excellent. I really like the G10. You know, I've had other G10 knives. Got that Spyderco Resilience, Bird, you know, a couple different ones, and I really like the G10 on this one. I think they did a good job with it. Particularly for an EDC knife, because it doesn't necessarily need that aggressive texturing and stuff. So I think this is appropriate for an EDC blade. Ergonomics are good for both of these knives. The ergonomics on this one are better for me, obviously, just because it's bigger. But you can see they've shaped the handle here so that, once again, unlike most Kershaws, it just lays in your hand very nicely. And it just feels good in your hand. Now, like I said, there's no traction on this side, and there's also no jimping on the top or anything, which is part of why I would not employ this in a emergency. Well, in an emergency, I guess I would, but I wouldn't employ this as a tactical blade. Like I said, I'm going to want something like this for a tactical blade. You know, it's grippy, no jimping on top, but it's grippy on the sides. Got a big fat handle I can get a good grip on. So that's more appropriate for tactical use. But for EDC use, yeah, I'm not as worried. I don't really need jimping on top for EDC, particularly when the handle's well designed like this one is, and it grips very nicely. And I can turn it sideways and have that G10 traction. I don't think you're going to have any trouble holding on to it and making some cuts that you need to make. So that's good. The liner lock works well. That's fine ergonomically. Nothing wrong with it. And the flipper design is, you know, pretty ergonomic as well. You just hold on to it and pop it open. No trouble with that. But it lays in hand nicely. I don't have any trouble with the ergonomics. Now, I will say with the OD2, this one is too short for me, obviously. But if you had smaller hands, it'd probably be better. But still, it's pretty decent. I can only get, you know, 3 fingers on it, but it still grips pretty nicely. And if I turn it sideways, it grips, you know, nicer. More than likely, I'd probably hold this one sideways most of the time if I was using it between my thumb and forefinger, and then just wrap this finger around it. That's probably how I would hold it most of the time. But it works pretty well that way. You know, it's decent. And you just have the ergonomic problems that you have with a blade this small. It's just small. That's the issue. Now, with the flipper on this one, this does cause a little bit of a problem because it's very difficult to orient your finger here and still grip the knife well enough to get it out. It takes a little bit of practice to get it right, because you can't, I mean, you can't hold it like this. You can't have your fingers around the blade, but there's not very much space there. So it takes a little bit of practice to get used to. But it's not that big of a deal. Once you get used to it, you can do it well. Just a lot easier with the bigger one, because you've got more space. You've got 2 fingers on it here instead of 1. So it's just easier. But still not a huge issue. And ergonomically they're both good. So clip design once again is different between the two. On the OD2 you just get a straight up clip. It is a well designed clip. I've got no qualms with it. Buries the knife pretty deep in the pocket. You got about that much sticking out. That's not bad. I do wish it was blackened, but you know, whatever. Some people like that. Has the Kershaw logo on it right there. Camera's not focusing, but it has the Kershaw logo. And you know, it's just a straight up decent clip. More than enough for a knife of this size. Very sturdy, very strong. You know, no issues with it. Now the clip is not positionable. So actually, I lied again. It is positionable to the left side. It is not positionable tip up or tip down. It comes tip up though, so that's not a problem. It's a flipper knife, so it should be tip up. But this one will accommodate a left-handed user, but not tip up or tip down. So, you know, at least you get one option. So you lefties aren't screwed with that knife. Now, the OD1 has a nice clip. It's a big old fat clip, but it's very strong. My one complaint about it is that it leaves that much of the knife poking out of your pocket. And the side that pokes out happens to be the 410 stainless if you are a right-handed user. So you have a big old chunk of stainless steel poking out of your pocket. It's all shiny and it pretty much gives things away. I prefer not to have that. Now, like the Oso Suite, it doesn't ride too deep in your pocket, but it rides a little bit deeper than this one, and it's black, so it doesn't show itself as much. Same thing with like the Voyager. The Voyager, pretty big chunk sticks out of your pocket, but it's black, and it doesn't, you know, and the clip is blackened, so it just doesn't show up as much. It's not as noticeable as this big old shiny piece of stainless. So that's a little bit irritating. But as for the clip itself, it's a good clip. I just wish they would have gone bloop, mounted it right here. I don't see any reason they couldn't have. I mean, you could move that straight back another, you know, another centimeter and still be on the knife, not be in the way of anything. It would work. So, and then you'd have, you know, that much of the knife sticking out rather than that much. But whatever, the clip works well. It retains the knife in my pocket, and they did that little, you can see there's a little disc there under the clip to, that's where the clip actually contacts, just on that little disc thing. So that's kind of cool. Just a contact pad for the clip, since it's on the frame locky thing here. Now if you flip it around, this one does not give you a left or right option, so you better not be left-handed and want one of these, because you're screwed. You cannot do it left-handed. I mean, you could put this in your pocket left-handed, but it's going to be backwards. So, you know, whatever. It's a little bit annoying that way if you're left-handed. I'm not left-handed though, so I don't care. And it does come oriented for a tip-up carry, which is nice. Most of them come tip-down. Like this, the Kershaw Oso Suite comes oriented for tip-down, even though it's a flipper with speed safe. I don't understand that, but that's the way it comes. So this one comes already oriented properly for tip-up right hand carry. You just reach in your pocket, pull it out, and deploy it. So that's nice. But you can orient it for tip down if you want. I don't know why you want to do that. I think it'd be kind of stupid because this retains perfectly well in the handle. I don't see any chance of this popping out on you. And it's a flipper. I mean, why would you want to put a flipper in your pocket like this, where you're going to have to pull it out, rotate it, and then get the flipper? It just doesn't make sense. So, this is perfect. No reason to change it. So, you know, good clip though. Just no left-hand carry option, which a lot of knives don't have. At least you get one option with this. Durability, I'm going to say again, is going to be good. 14C 28N Sandvik steel on this should hold up well. I may update in the future as I find out how that works out for me. Frame locking design, and you know, sturdy knife. 3.4 ounces. It's a little bit heavy, but it's a frame locker, and the other side of the other liner is not milled out any, so it is a little bit heavy for its size. You know, it actually weighs, I believe it weighs more than the Voyager. I think the Voyager is like 2.8 or something. I don't know, it's pretty heavy. It's a heavy knife. It feels heavier in hand than the Voyager, I'll say that. I don't know if it actually is, but you know, comparably, these two knives, this one's huge, this one's not. They feel pretty close to the same. You know, this one may feel a little bit heavier. So, it's heavy, but I don't find too much of a deal with it. It carries well, it's thin, it's ergonomic. I don't think 3.4 ounces is that big of a deal for EDC. So durability should be good, especially with the OD1, because you got that G10, you got 14C 28N steel, you got a frame lock. The overdrive system, I don't know why it would break. If it does, I'll update the video. It hasn't broken yet, and I've been flipping it a lot. Now, with the OD2, durability is not going to be as good. It's a smaller knife, and mostly my complaint with durability is going to be on this frame lock, where the frame lock is already going all the way, almost all the way over to the other handle. So I could see the durability on this being less. You know, it is what it is. I guess we'll see. Anyway, I guess that's about it. So this has been JCTheSniper's review of the OD1, along with its little brother, the OD2. Thanks for watching, guys, and have a good year. JCTheSniper, signing off.